Was this the greatest comeback in World Cup history, or was it something else entirely? By the time Argentina's winning goal hit the net, one phrase was already trending everywhere: this tournament is rigged. The match took place at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta in the round of 16, pitting reigning champions Argentina against a World Cup debutant knockout side, Egypt. Egypt had never advanced past the group stage since 1934, yet for most of this match, they outplayed the world champions. In the 58th minute, Egypt appeared to double their lead. Midfielder Mostafa Zico scored what looked like a brilliant breakaway goal. But the video assistant referee stepped in. The review reached back roughly 17 seconds and nearly the full length of the pitch to a challenge by Marwan Atiyah on Argentina defender Lisandro Martinez. The goal was disallowed for a foul in the build-up. Egypt did not let that decision break them. In the 67th minute, Mostafa Zico scored again, and this time, it counted. Egypt led 2-0 against the defending champions, with the clock ticking toward the 75th minute, then the 77th, then the 78th, with no sign of the lead cracking. Then, in the 79th minute, Christian Romero pulled one back for Argentina. 4 minutes later, in the 83rd minute, Lionel Messi struck the equalizer, and in the second minute of stoppage time, Enzo Fernandez scored the winner, completing a comeback from 2 goals down in just 13 minutes. Before that winning goal, Egypt had appealed for a penalty inside Argentina's box, involving contact between Mohamed Salah and Argentina's Julian Alvarez. No video review was conducted on that appeal. Argentina broke forward immediately after, and Enzo Fernandez delivered the final blow. The final score read Argentina 3, Egypt 2. That sequence of events, an extended VAR review at one end of the pitch and no review at all at the other, is precisely what ignited the firestorm that followed. This tournament's own referees had been operating under different instructions all along. FIFA's head of referees, Pierluigi Collina, had reminded officials before the knockout rounds to allow normal football contact and keep the tempo high. The numbers reflected that approach. This World Cup was averaging 22.6 fouls per game, down from 25 in 2022 and 27 in 2018. Against that backdrop, a review reaching back 17 seconds to find a foul looked, to many pundits, like a complete departure from how the tournament had been called. BBC broadcaster Dale Johnson wrote that Egypt's disallowed goal was completely against how this tournament has been refereed. Sky Sports commentator Rob Harris said the technology was never meant to be used that way. Former FIFA referee Mark Clattenburg, working as a rules analyst for FokeX Sports, said plainly, "This is not a decision for the VAR." He added that this type of foul was not consistent with how referees had been calling the tournament, noting that this incident had many passes and a long distance to the goal, closer to 10 seconds from the foul to the goal being scored, which he considered too long. FokeX Sports analyst Rob Green made a similar point during the broadcast, saying that 100 yards away, someone stepping on someone's toe is not why VAR was brought into the game. He added, the referee saw the tackle, decided not to give it, and Egypt, with a brilliant breakaway goal, have been denied a 2-goal cushion. The contrast between the two decisions became the center of the controversy. The disallowed goal received an extended, multi-angle review that reversed the on-field call. The late penalty appeal, minutes before Argentina's winning goal, received no review whatsoever. Egypt's head coach, Hossam Hassan, made the accusation explicit after the final whistle. He said, "Perhaps they wanted to keep the world champion in the competition. Perhaps they wanted Messi to stay in the running." He went further, stating, "There seemed to be pressures from the Argentina side on this outcome." He also revealed that Egypt had objected to the appointment of referee François Letexier before the match, citing Argentina's victory over France in the 2022 World Cup final. When he confronted the referee after the match, Hassan said, "I said, maybe he is carrying a scar or has something to hide." Egypt's players echoed the sentiment. Forward Mostafa Zico said, "Strange things happened on the pitch," and added, "It's clear this tournament has been fixed." Reserve goalkeeper Mohamed said, "The refereeing was obvious in front of everyone." Egypt also pointed to other contested moments during the match, including a challenge by Argentina's Nahuel Molina on winger Imam Ashur that went uncalled, and a challenge on Mohamed Salah by Nicolas Tagliafico that Egypt believed should have resulted in a penalty. Within minutes of the final whistle, social media reflected the same frustration. Posts declaring this tournament is rigged and the World Cup is rigged for Messi spread rapidly, with many fans drawing direct comparisons to the 2022 World Cup in Qatar. That comparison to 2022 was not incidental. It formed the backbone of a broader pattern argument that fans and analysts raised throughout the tournament. Earlier in this World Cup, during the group stage, Lionel Messi caught Algeria's captain, Aissa Mandi, with a studs-up challenge and escaped without a card. Analyst Alejandro Moreno called it 100% a red card on ESPN. In the round of 32, United States forward Folarin Balogun was sent off for a near-identical challenge on a Bosnian defender. The pattern extended back to Qatar in 2022, where Argentina was awarded 5 penalties, the most any team has received at a single World Cup, all converted by Lionel Messi. In that tournament's quarterfinal against the Netherlands, Lionel Messi handled the ball without receiving a second yellow card that many observers believed he had earned. Beyond individual refereeing decisions, this tournament had already produced a series of controversies that damaged FIFA's credibility before Egypt's exit. United States President Donald Trump had reportedly phoned FIFA President Gianni Infantino, after which a one-game suspension for United States striker Folarin Balogun was overturned using a clause never previously applied at a World Cup. Football figures reacted sharply. Manager Jurgen Klopp said, "This is our sport, not theirs." Former England international Wayne Rooney called it an absolute disgrace and said Gianni Infantino should be ashamed. Separately, hydration breaks at this tournament had been split into 2 per half, an arrangement reportedly worth approximately $500 million to American broadcasters. Journalist Barney Ronay of The Guardian described it as an abomination and a desecration. FIFA had also awarded Donald Trump its inaugural Peace Prize during the tournament. Adding to the scrutiny, FIFA appointed an entirely Argentine officiating crew, led by Facundo Tello, for the upcoming France against Morocco quarterfinal, the first single nationality panel of the tournament. Taken together, these events formed what many considered a motive, a commercially valuable global superstar, in what many believe is his final World Cup. Competing in a tournament FIFA needed to remain a spectacle. However, no proof of manipulation exists. Every individual decision in Atlanta has a defense grounded in the actual laws of the game. FIFA's Pierluigi Collina addressed the disallowed goal directly, stating, "If a foul is identified in the build-up and is deemed to have had an impact on the goal, the VAR will recommend an on-field review. There is no defined limit regarding either the distance from goal or the amount of time between the incident and the goal." He added, "We believe that a foul is a foul. Regardless of whether the foul appears obvious, if the referee did not see it on the field of play, the VAR can intervene." Even Telegraph journalist Henry Winter, while mocking the length of the review, conceded it was probably correct under the letter of the law. Collina also explained why the penalty appeal was not reviewed, stating that both the referee and VAR judged the contact between Mohamed Salah and Julian Alvarez to be normal football contact. He explained the distinction directly. Stepping on an opponent's foot is a foul, whereas a defender who touches the ball first and then makes normal football contact has not committed a foul. Because the incident occurred inside the penalty area, it was held to a higher threshold than an incident in open play, which explains why the two decisions produce different outcomes despite looking similar on television. There is also an accountability dimension that cannot be separated from the controversy. Egypt led 2-0 with only 11 minutes remaining. No refereeing decision took that lead away from them. They conceded 3 legitimate goals in 13 minutes to a team that found something extraordinary. Mostafa Zico himself acknowledged this afterward, saying, "If they had won by their own effort, it would have made a big difference to us." Egypt goalkeeper Mostafa Choubert, who had performed heroically for most of the match, admitted, "Some mistakes happened from all of us in the last 10 minutes." What this controversy reveals may be less about a fixed outcome and more about FIFA's diminished credibility. When an organization suspends a red card after a phone call from a sitting president, restructures hydration breaks around broadcast revenue, awards a peace prize to a political leader, and then assigns a single nationality officiating crew to a match involving that same leader's preferred team, in the same week accusations of bias are already circulating, it forfeits the benefit of the doubt on every subsequent decision. Journalist Barney Ronay wondered in print whether Gianni Infantino had finally flown too close to the sun. Commentator Robbie Slater said flatly that Gianni Infantino was in trouble. Collina pushed back firmly against the allegations themselves, stating, "Nobody can question the integrity of the FIFA World Cup match officials," and warning that unfounded allegations may provoke reactions that lead to threats against them and their families. Argentina now advances to face Switzerland in the quarterfinals, with Lionel Messi 1 goal clear at the top of the tournament's scoring charts. Egypt returns home having recorded the best performance in its World Cup history, eliminated not by a rout, but by a 2-goal collapse in the final quarter of the match. So the question remains open. Was Egypt robbed? Did they simply fail to close out a 2-goal lead? Or was it some combination of both? And with an all-Argentine officiating crew now set to take charge of the France versus Morocco quarterfinal this Friday, the scrutiny on FIFA is unlikely to fade anytime soon.